Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word Until roundup of the second day of testing in Barcelona. It was a session which saw very limited running in the morning due to slippery and cold conditions, something highlighted by Kevin Magnussen, who slid off the track and very nearly put himself in the wall but just avoided that, and highlighted by the fact that Sebastian Vettel only managed 5 laps in the opening 3 hours of the session. The teams pretty much spent the morning looking at aero, and so we saw a lot of cars with those huge, ugly sensors hanging off them left, right and centre. But it still counts as track action, so it'll do me. Let's kick off then by taking a look at the lap times and the lap count. As you can see there, despite the slow start to the day, things did pick up as teams managed to rack up quite a good amount of mileage. So it was Sebastian Vettel then who topped the session with the fastest time of testing so far. And although we can't read too much into lap times at this point, he was only 0.3 of a second quicker than Valtteri Bottas, who ran the medium tyre. We don't know what programs they were running, and it probably means absolutely nothing, but it's just worth noting. The Ferrari and the Mercedes did complete the most number of laps pretty much by far on the day, with 98 for Vettel and 94 for Bottas. Stoffel Vandoorne was the first driver to run the Hypersoft tyre and he ended the session in 3rd place. But with only 37 laps on the board, there is concern at McLaren. Max Verstappen only managed to get 1 installation lap completed in the morning. I will come on to the reasons for that in just a moment, but he did bounce back to 67 laps, which is pretty solid, and finished in 4th spot. Another good showing for Renault. Carlos Sainz was 5th with Pierre Gasly. Again, a great day for Toro Rosso, 82 laps and ended up 6th place. Robert Kubica got his first run out. He outpaced teammate Sergei Sirotkin and beat Lance Stroll's time from yesterday. Esteban Ocon managed to get considerably more laps done for Force India today, 79 in total compared to 22 yesterday. Another team who continued their good running from the first day were Sauber. Charles Leclerc racked up a total of 81 laps. And Kevin Magnussen, who, as I said at the start of the video, avoided that early scare, did end up last place in 11th with 36 laps on the board. I will say, by the way, that during the first test, it's more about mileage than lap times. And that's why I will focus on that through this week. But next week is when the lap times really start to count. With that in mind, then, Ferrari are currently top on there, just 1 lap more than Mercedes. Toro Rosso, 175 laps in 2 days of testing. To put that into some kind of context, during the whole of pre-season last year, 8 sessions, McLaren and Honda only managed 425 laps. So even if the Honda engine turns out to be dire in terms of pace, they've definitely sorted out at least some of their gremlins, so that's good to see. To be honest, some really solid running over the first 2 days for the top 7 on that table, but there will be disappointment at Haas and particularly McLaren. They came into this pre-season a lot more optimistic than they have over the last 3 years, that's for sure. But with Fernando Alonso's problems yesterday and the lack of running for Stoffel Vandoorne today, it's not really been a great start to pre-season testing. Okay, track conditions weren't really representative of anything, but everybody else did quite a bit of running today, particularly in the afternoon, and they've really missed out, McLaren. At the time of recording this, there has been no official confirmation from the team as to what the issue has been or why they've not been on track, but there was a rumour towards the end of the session floating around that said they were suffering with overheating problems due to a break in their exhaust system, but I must stress that has not been confirmed to this point. But as difficult as the first 2 days have been for McLaren, I will stress just what I said yesterday. There is still a lot of testing still to go, provided the weather holds up, of course. I ought to say as well, on that note, there is talk the test is going to get extended into Friday should we see similar conditions tomorrow to what we've seen today. The weather is forecast to be pretty bad at the circuit for tomorrow. But there are some hurdles to overcome with that one. Williams have got a filming day on Friday and Ferrari have got one at the circuit on Saturday as well. So there is the possibility that that will get blocked. Although, to be fair, Claire Williams has said that she wouldn't stop any extra testing taking place. So we will just have to wait and see on that one. Red Bull had a minor fuel leak problem this morning, which obviously limited Max Verstappen's track time to just 1 installation lap, as I said earlier. But they did manage to get that fixed and got some pretty solid running done in the afternoon. So a really good bounce back from them. Christian Horner, of course, said yesterday that he was concerned about the direction Renault were going for 2018 by focusing on reliability rather than power. And late this afternoon, the Renault team confirmed they were already thinking about tactical engine penalties for 2018. It is the second day of pre-season testing, and because of this ridiculous 3-engine rule, teams are already considering where to take their penalties for the season. That is absolutely ridiculous. It needs to get sorted, and it just shows where F1 is at the moment. Just not acceptable for teams to be thinking like that already. However, on the upside, they have said the reason they're looking at that is so they can focus on putting more power through that engine. A couple of other bits of news away from the track which came out today, and that is that F1 have confirmed they are launching their own online streaming service, completely ad-free, and that will include all the sessions, F2, GP3 and Porsche Super Cup, all live. It will be a fraction of the cost of Sky Sports, and if you are in the UK, unfortunately, we are stuck with them until 2025. However, I'm sure people can find a way around that. Also, Martini and Williams have confirmed that they will be ending their deal at the end of 2018. Apparently, they were discussing the possibility of extending the deal beyond the end of this season. However, the Bacardi Group have said they are stepping away from Formula One entirely and that the deal will end at the end of this year. I can talk about all that another day, though. Today is about testing. We did have a couple of red flags during the session. One was for Charles Leclerc, who managed to spin out and beat you in the gravel trap that led to recovery. And of course, the red flag came out for that. And session topper Sebastian Vettel also had a spin, but he managed to recover himself back to the track. However, they had to stop the session to clean the track down. A big positive, and the cars do continue to look a lot quicker than last year. As I said yesterday, the resurfacing of the track must be taken into consideration. However, the fastest lap set by Sebastian Vettel over the whole of pre-season testing last year was a 1:19.024, and that was on the ultra-soft tyre. And he was only 0.6 shy of that today on a tyre that was 2 grades harder. So it does look positive for this coming season. The session did pretty much fizzle out, to be honest, because the snow began to fall in Barcelona. However, some drivers did venture out on intermediates and wets just to do a bit of trundling around and collect a little bit more data, but nothing massively meaningful. I will end though by saying it was fantastic to see Robert Kubica back behind the wheel of an F1 car in testing. Just so happy for the guy, and as I've said so many times over the last few weeks, it is such a great story and a fantastic comeback. That is it from me today. Now, provided testing goes ahead as scheduled tomorrow, we will be live at 7 PM UK time to round it all up. However, if it does get delayed and pushed back to Friday, there will be no video tomorrow and we will not be live either. But I will update you on social media, so make sure you follow me on there. Links to Twitter, Facebook and Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.